So Wednesday and Thursday are going to be kind of goofy, right? Because we don't really have traditional school. Some of you might have tests, some of you might not, some of you might have opted out. I don't know. But that's why we had to change the room this way, because they wanted to make sure your classroom's in rows. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, hey, this was kind of glitching on us, so I had to switch to that board, which also works. What questions do you have for me on this worksheet? What can I help you with? 12? You got it. All right, for number 12, first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and subtract 10 from both sides. Those cancel. I have a quantity which has x in it squared. Quantity meaning it's inside parentheses, right? So at this point, we can go ahead and root both sides because we're trying to get x by itself. The root undoes this, so that cancels that. So I just get the x minus 4. I don't need the parentheses any longer. And then I have plus or minus. And 40 is going to break down to 4 and 10. So square root of 4 is 2, so I get 2 root 10. So I get to there. Is that problem done? No, I need x all by itself, right? So if I add 4 to both sides, so x equals 4 plus or minus 2 root 10. And that's our final answer. It doesn't go any further than that. Okay. I realize you're using calculator. Oh, it's cool. There's a square root button. I know there is. I don't want you to take the square root unless it is a perfect square. Cool. What else could we work on this page? Front or back? 11? Yeah. All right, same idea. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Those cancel. That's 49. Root. Don't forget the plus minus. What's special about square root 49? It is a perfect square, so square root of 49 is 7. Subtract 2 from both sides. So this is actually going to get us 2 answers. So we get this, but we have to realize this is the same thing as saying 2 plus 7, negative 2 plus 7, negative 2 minus 7. So this is going to give me 5. This is going to give me negative 9. So 5 and negative 9 are my answers. Okay, those just happen to work out because you had a perfect square. What else did you see on that worksheet? 8?
Or 7.
Pick one.
7.
Let's do 8 because we did in the video. I did the odds. So I'll do 8. So that's x squared. And then check to see if 108, if 9 goes into 108. So 108 divided by 9, and it comes out to 12. Root. Don't forget plus minus. And then root 12 breaks down to what perfect square times another number? 4 times 3. Very good. So square root of 4 is 2. So there's my answer. And that is 2 answers. You have a positive component and a negative component for the answer. Any other questions we can help you with? Front or back? How much? 22? Okay, 22, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Uh, 45 minus 5 is 40. But notice I have a 10 out in front of the parentheses. So what should I do with that 10? Yeah, good. Divide both sides by that 10. Those cancel out then. So 40 divided by 10, I believe, is 4. Now I'm ready to go root. Agree? Don't forget the plus minus. What's the square root of 4? 2. Add 3 to both sides. So I'm going to get 3 plus 2, and I'm going to get 3 minus 2. So my answers are 5 and 1. Yeah.
For like
Yeah, as soon as you take the square root of both sides, there'll be a plus minus component. So in simple terms, like this is not a problem. If I did 2 squared, I get 4. Agree? But if I do negative 2 squared, I also get 4. So you, that's the reason why 2 answers exist, because you can have a positive and negative. Yeah, the only time, vape alarm again. Do you guys remember when they first installed those? You see security come running down the hall. Yeah. Now it's like, really again? So it's not just a nuisance. The only time that it wouldn't happen is, let's say you had like this. You came down to that situation, and you went root. You only get 0 for an answer, because 0 doesn't have positive or negative. It's a signless number, they call it. But honestly, if you gave me this for an answer, I'm totally fine with it. Oh, okay. Cool. Anything else I can help you with off this worksheet? Get it all done? We just did the evens yesterday, right? I did the odds in class and I asked you to do the evens, right? Hey, here's a question though. If I got to this, if I had this type of question and I went root, what is this answer? Can I multiply 2 identical numbers together and get a negative number? No. This is called no real solution. The real indicates we're talking about the real number system, which is the name of the number system that it's in. Why did they design all these different number systems? I don't know. I think in the olden days, if you understood math, like the 1300s, the 1200s, they realized if you understood math, you were part of the elite. That was when you're trading teeth for food. What can you give me for food? I got a tooth. Okay. I think everybody was just really bored. Yeah, it might have been. They might have. I mean, just imagine what Snapchat would have been back then. Yesterday? Yeah. Any other questions for you? We're good? We're happy? Content? We're good with this so far? Yeah. Cool. All right. Next board. I do the exact same thing to both sides first. What do I do to both sides? Plus 5. Not root yet. You want to do root when you have x squared by itself, okay? Or quantity x squared. Okay? If I do this, that cancels out. If I do that, that cancels out. Now I'm ready for root. Don't forget the root. Don't forget the plus minus. Good so far? So I'm going to get x equals plus minus and x equals plus minus. All right. Root 27 breaks down to which one of these perfect squares times something else? 9 and 3. What's the square root of 9? What's the answer to this one? 3 root 3. Plus or minus 3 root 3. Do the same thing here. Root 28. Which one of these numbers breaks down? Good. 4 and 7. Square root of 4 is 2. There's my answers. And you figured out I'm doing each version, right? So make sure you're matching up on yours. And there's number 2. Does anyone need more time looking at that? A-okay? Good? All right, number 3. Same move on both problems. What should I do first? Good, minus 7. It's the same thing on both. So then I get 2x squared minus 7 over here as well equals 50, or 2x squared equals 32. What's next? Same thing on both. Divide each side by 2. That cancels that. Last step. Root, root. Don't forget. Root, root. Don't forget. So x equals plus or minus what? And why did that work out so nice? Because I had a perfect square. What about this one? X equals plus or minus what? And again, those had 2 perfect squares. Agree? That's why they worked out. Seem okay so far? All right. Number 4. I'm going to do the exact same thing as my first move on both of those. Correct? That cancels. That cancels. I don't have x squared by itself, but I have the quantity that has x squared by itself. So what do I do next? I do root root. Don't forget plus minus. Okay, the square root of a square goes away. What's the square root of 16?
4.
Cool. And then this one, what's the square root of 25? Okay, am I done with those problems? No, I want x by itself. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I'm going to get 5 plus 4 and 5 minus 4. On this one, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I'm going to get x equals 2 plus 5 and 2 minus 5. And then just do the arithmetic. 5 plus 4 is 9. 5 minus 4 is 1. There's my answers there. This one gives me 7, and this gives me negative 3. And that, my friends, is how you do that. Okay. Okay, it's nothing too big. So H7 is what we're looking for. All right. So as we were going through those problems, you notice that we had plus minus that was taking place when we took the square root of both sides. Agree? Okay. So I want to show you, so in my opinion, this is the only way that this stuff should ever be taught. Unfortunately, I can't get the rest of the teachers to buy into it. The reason is, so I'm going to put up the most complex, ugly problem that most students would leave blank if it was what to do. Okay? So let's say I had this. Okay? This is ugly. Agree? Let's see. Just make sure 15. Nope. So this will not factor. This will not factor. If I multiply 3 and 5 together, there's not 2 factors of 15 that would add together to give me 7, right? Because I have 1 and 15, that won't work. And I have 5 and 3, that doesn't work. So this problem won't work. Agree? Again, this is the ugliest, ugliest, ugliest version. But I think you're going to see, every time we do these problems, we can do it the exact same. First thing I'm going to do is this. I got rid of the number that did not have a letter attached to it. I moved it to the opposite side. Seem okay so far?
Yeah.
Is that right? Everyone, and I left a space. Notice the space I left is where the plus 3 had been. Agree? Now, whatever is in front of the x squared, you don't want to have a number in front of it other than 1. So I'm going to divide everything by 5. And that's going to give me this. You see what I'm doing? Because I want it in front of this. Technically, there's a 1 right here in front of this x squared, right? That's what you want. Okay? This is, I think I gave you one. What was the one? What are we on? 8-7? Did I give you? Yeah, cool. I'm showing the ugliest type of problem that you'll see, just to walk through it. Okay, you ready? You're going to make a set of parentheses, and you're going to show a quantity squared. It's going to be done the same way every time. Ready? You're going to go x, whatever this sign is, comes down here. All right, friends. Did you know in order to take half of a fraction, all you have to do is multiply the denominator, the bottom, by 2? So with that known, what is half of 7 over 5 if I just have to multiply the bottom number by 2? 7 over 10. Okay? Double the bottom. Okay? Now I need to fill the space. Okay? So, this is squared, right? This means squared. The little 2 up. So whatever I took half of, I'm going to double. I'm going to square it. Okay? What's 7 times 7?
49.
What's 10 times 10? 100. So 49 over 100 gets plugged in right here. And if I add 49 over 100 there, I have to add 49 over 100 here. Now again, this is, you will not see anything that's ugly, but you have to get a common denominator. So I'm going to get negative 60 over 100 plus 49 over 100, which that's going to give me negative 11 over 100.
What are we trying to get?
X all by itself. All right. This kind of looks like what we've done. Root. Now, by me making this up, we're just going to keep this. What's up, Brock? We're just going to keep this. I know that this doesn't really get an answer to it. And what my final answer is going to be this. What's the square? The denominator, the bottom is 100. What's the square root of 100? It's like 10. Notice the bottom's no longer underneath a radical because I took the square root. So here's my answer. Uh-huh. All right. That's what the answer is. Now, friends, I can promise you that I would show you how to do this in such a simplistic way that every one of you could be successful after a day and a half of doing this type of problem, and I kid you not. Okay? But let's go back to that worksheet. This is our overall goal. That is one nasty answer. Okay? All right, so we're on 8-7. So, vocabulary. This is now on your sheet, agree? Complete the square is a method used to solve a quadratic equation by turning part of the expression into a perfect squared trinomial. This allows the quadratic to be written as x plus p quantity squared equals q, which then can be solved by taking the square root of both sides. All right. Friends, you have this. Ready? Watch how easy this is. Ready? What is half of 10? What's 5 squared? Number 2, what's half of 8? What's 4 squared? Notice I didn't say what's half of negative 8, did I? Because it's always going to be a plus on there. What's half of 22? 11. What's 11 squared? 121. What is half of 7? I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. What's half of 14? It was going to be 7. What's 7 squared? 49. Good job, Sean. What is half of 20? What's 10 squared? What's half of 16? What's 8 squared? Okay. By doing this, my friends, each one of these would have become this, x plus 5, x plus 5, if I factored it. This would be x minus 4, if it was factored. This becomes x minus 11, x minus 11. This factors to x plus 7, x plus 7. This one factors to x minus 10, x minus 10. This one factors to x plus 8, x plus 8. Friends, what do you notice about these green answers? They're identical, right? I mean, like for problem number 1, you have 2 of the same. Number 2, you have 2 of the same. Notice sometimes they're both positive, but sometimes when you have a negative in front of the term that's the x term, that means they're both negative. So notice, negatives, both negative. Positive, both positive. Negative, both negative. Negative, both negative. Positive, both positive. Okay? Yowzers. And I know it's a brand spanking new thing I just showed you. But did every one of those problems get done the same way by the same questions? What's half the middle? What's that middle squared? That's all I asked. All right. All of these are all perfect squares. And you can double check this. What's half of 6? What's 3 squared? What's half of 18? What's half of 18? 9. What's 9 squared? 9 squared, not square root. 9 squared. 9 times 9. Okay? Ready? So when you know it's a perfect squared trinomial, this is going to become x plus 3 and x plus 3. This one's a perfect square. This is going to be x minus 9, x minus 9. Wait, why is it a minus 9? What sticks out of number 8 that's not a number 7? A minus sign. This one, anyone want to take a shot at what it is? They're both minus. 6. This one, they're both minus. What's the answer? 2. This one's going to be this and this. What's the answer? 1 and 1. This one, all the signs are the same. What is it? 12. You notice they're the exact same 2 binomials, correct? Those binomials are identical because the trinomial, the 3-part part, the problem, if I FOILed together or I double distributed together, I would get those answers. Okay? If I factored them, I get those answers. All right. All right. So, take a look at this right here. Is that a perfect trinomial? Meaning I have 2 identical binomials that are going to multiply together. How do you check? Half of the x term. What's the half of the x term? 5. What's 5 squared? Is it matching? Cool. Oh, but it's equal to 16. Oh, okay. So this is x plus 5, x plus 5. Agree? This is 16. Still agree? Hey, I have a question. If I were to go x times x, what would I get? X squared. So if I go x plus 5 times x plus 5, what would I get without multiplying the whole thing out? X plus 5 squared. Okay, so let's see where that just came from. You all feel comfortable that x plus 5 is this? Bidirectional. Half of that squared, it works, it's perfect square, x plus 5, x plus 5. X plus 5, x plus 5. You told me that x times x is x squared, so a quantity times a quantity. 2 identical quantities multiplied together is that quantity squared. Good? What's this ready for? Root. Yeah, baby. All right, root. Don't forget. Plus minus. Square root of 16. Subtract 5, subtract 5. Do the math. Negative 5 plus 4, negative 1. Negative 5 minus 4, negative 9. Wait a minute here. Stirrup might be on to something. Okay. Let's just double check. I think we have it right. What's half of 20? What's 10 squared? 100. So this over here on the left side is a perfect square. What does that factor down to quickly? X minus 10, x minus 10. Agree? And it's still equal to 20. Agree? And x minus 10 times x minus 10 can be written as what? X minus 10 as the quantity squared. I bet you Sean knows what's next. What's next right there on 14? Root. Don't forget. Plus minus. All right. Root 20 breaks down to what? Which one of those blue numbers? 4 times 5. Square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to get that. How do I get x by itself? Add 10 to both sides. X equals 10 plus or minus 2 root 5. Done. Whew, baby. What time are we out here? 36. All right. Friends, your only homework assignment is to bring this sheet back on Friday. No. Bring it back on Friday. Can you do it? Can you do it? This does not have to be done. Don't work on it. It's a new concept. Just bring this back Friday.